5 cents. That's how much the notebook cost at the Woolworth store. But for 10-year-old Sally Horner, this small item turned out to be life-changing. At her school in Camden, New Jersey, the older girls, confident, fearless, and seemingly untouchable, gave her a simple test of courage. Steal something from the store, a notebook, some candy, anything. Only then, they said, could she become one of them. Sally had never stolen before, but her desire to belong overpowered her fear. In March 1948, she entered the store, found a 5-cent notebook, and slipped it into her bag. As she was leaving, a man, gaunt, graying, with predatory eyes, grabbed her by the arm. "You're under arrest," he said calmly. "I'm an FBI agent." Sally burst into tears. She tried to explain it was her first time, she hadn't meant any harm. The man, who claimed to be a federal agent, coldly told her that girls like her are usually sent to reform school. But, he added, he could make an exception if she agreed to meet with him from time to time and tell him about her life. That way, he could ensure she was on the right path. Confused and terrified, Sally agreed. The man disappeared, but her fear lingered. Meanwhile, life went on. Sally finished the school year with top marks and glowing praise from her teachers. Her homeroom teacher, Miss Hanlon, wrote, "A wonderful girl, intelligent, well-mannered, and very capable." But Sally was still waiting for the mysterious agent to show up again. When he didn't, she gradually began to forget the incident. Then, in mid-June, the man reappeared, this time near her home. He told Sally that she now had to go with him on government business and coached her to give her mother a believable story. Sally told her mother, Ella Horner, that she had been invited to Atlantic City by 2 school friends and their parents. Ella was suspicious. She didn't recognize the names of the girls. Soon after, the phone rang. A pleasant male voice explained that he, his wife, and daughters were taking the trip and would be happy to bring Sally along. Ella, a seamstress, had been raising Sally alone since her husband had taken his own life 5 years earlier. A summer vacation was an unaffordable luxury. The offer sounded like a gift. Despite her unease, she agreed and personally saw Sally off at the bus station. The girl promised to write. At first, the letters came regularly. They were cheerful, full of stories and excitement, but then the letters stopped. Sally didn't come back and stopped writing altogether. She had been abducted. The man who posed as an FBI agent was actually Frank LaSalle, a 50-year-old mechanic and convicted pedophile. The police launched an investigation, but no trace of Sally was found. Months passed, and in Camden, people were consumed with worry and speculation. Like Nabokov's fictional Humbert, Frank LaSalle traveled the country with the girl, presenting her as his daughter. In Texas, he even managed to enroll her in school, convincing the administration that they had lost their documents. Sally kept to herself, distant from classmates. At one point, she confided in a boy at school. She had been kidnapped and was living with a man who hurt her, but nothing came of it. Whether they didn't believe her or were too afraid to act remains unclear. This continued for nearly 2 years. In March 1950, after another move, this time to California, Sally finally managed to escape. At a gas station, she begged to use the phone and called her sister. Crying, she gave a broken explanation of where she was. A rescue followed. Frank LaSalle was arrested on March 22, 1950. He was later tried and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Sally returned home. The entire country followed her story. The press hounded her with interviews, photographs, headlines. The girl who had endured kidnapping and abuse now became a symbol of survival, of vulnerability, but peace would never truly return to her life. Among those who closely followed Sally Horner's story was the writer Vladimir Nabokov. He had a folder full of newspaper clippings about her case. Her story influenced his writing of Lolita, which he was working on during those years. In one scene, Sally's name is mentioned directly. Had I done with Dolly what Frank LaSalle did with Sally Horner in 1948? The girls' ages, their helplessness, the manipulative predator, all echoed Sally's real experience. Literary scholar Sarah Weinman devoted an entire book to this connection, titled The Real Lolita, the kidnapping of Sally Horner and the novel that scandalized the world. In her view, Sally was not just an inspiration, but the true origin of the character of Lolita. Tragically, her life was cut short. In 1952, just 2 years after her escape, Sally died in a car accident. She was only 15. Nabokov's novel Lolita was published in 1955, stirring a storm of admiration and outrage in the literary world. But behind its pages lies a true story, the story of a girl who received neither love, nor protection, nor justice. Sally Horner, a bright-eyed little honor student, became the shadow behind a masterpiece, and a haunting reminder of the real human lives that sometimes lie beneath fiction.